The Night's Watch we saw in Game of Thrones was a shell of its former self. In its inception, it was a massively manned army with the sole purpose of defending the Seven Kingdoms from freaks beyond the wall. After some time, 19 castles were built and spread across the 300-mile-long border. Over the millenniums, the threat of another White Walker invasion dwindled to the point where many didn't even believe they existed. With wildling raids the only thing left to defend against, few men decided to devote their lives to stand guard at this frozen location. The 19 castles soon turned to ruin. The largest and formerly the headquarters is the castle called Nightfort. It was the first of the 19 built, and they were a little ambitious with this one. Even after constant attempts to rebuild the structure, it's now a mostly collapsed shell of what it used to be, and unmanned. The cost was just too high to keep this defense up, especially when the Crown and other lords outside of the north don't prioritize this operation. It's just too far away for them to care. The name Night's Watch comes from the time period where the Long Night occurred. The Long Night was an abnormally long winter where the world was in a constant state of darkness. This was when the White Walkers first invaded the Seven Kingdoms, 8,000 years ago. Brandon Stark, the founder of House Stark, led the construction of the wall with the help of the Children of the Forest and giants. After its completion, the Night's Watch manned this defense as a kind of border control to prevent the Long Night from ever occurring again, since that event almost led to the end of the world. A Lord Commander is at the head of this organization and makes all the real decisions here. He's elected by all the brothers of the Night's Watch, even though this title isn't like the other lords of the Seven Kingdoms in the traditional sense, since after taking their vow, a brother of the Night's Watch cannot hold any land, titles, or wives, or even children. Their life is now completely committed to serving, and they do so until death. Deserting their watch is a death sentence. But almost all the named Lord Commanders in this story's long history have been of high birth, since the Night's Watch was once a respected pledge. After the Night Fort was abandoned, the Lord Commander operates from Castle Black, a far more modest location right at the center of the wall. Only 3 of the 19 castles are able to be manned now, with the current state of the Night's Watch. Besides Castle Black, there's Shadow Tower at the west end of the wall, and there's Eastwatch by the sea on the opposite side. A commander is selected to be the man in charge of each castle, a necessary thing to have when living in a time where sending letters through ravens is your fastest means of communication. It's not like everyone can get in your head like Bran. The commander of Shadow Tower has a pretty vital role because of the potential dangers of this location. A passage called the Bridge of Skulls is right there, where wildlings can escape their frozen wasteland and smuggle their way into the north. I'm not sure if it's a natural or man-made bridge, but I don't see why it would be very beneficial for the Night's Watch to keep it up. So after the Lord Commander and the commanders of their respective castles, there are a few influential ranks among the brothers. Each castle has its own Maester, kind of like how all the houses in the Seven Kingdoms, who are sent Maesters to serve them from the Citadel. They advise, they teach, they heal, they kind of do it all, since they are by far the most educated people in Westeros. There's even a Septon in Castle Black for the followers of the faith. These 2 jobs serve a slightly different purpose than the rest. Instead of keeping this operation up and running, they're here for the brothers' well-being. Within the Night's Watch, there are 3 orders, which new recruits are sorted into. These jobs are the reason I actually wanted to make this video. I think it's interesting and you don't really hear it talked about much.
We've all been assigned an order, according to our needs and your strengths. Holder to the builders, Pip to the stewards, Toad to the builders, Gren to the rangers, Samwell to the stewards.
There's the Rangers, the badasses who risk their lives scouting beyond the wall to check up on their mortal enemies, the wildlings. They're the most skilled fighters, who are truly responsible for all the fighting and defending when there's attack. The Order of the Builders are responsible for everything construction related. Whether the job at hand is maintaining the wall or any of the castles, it's these guys who are responsible. They're carpenters, miners, and lumberjacks. When the haunted forest creeps close to the wall, hindering their view of the wildling activities, from their higher perspective, the builders gotta cut down those trees. The last order is the Stewards, a simpler duty, but one so important that it requires the largest number of men. They're the help. Stewards cook and gather all the brothers' meals, create their iconic black cloaks, and gather supplies for their south when needed. Not the most glamorous of the 3, but as important nonetheless. You won't get in on a lot of the action, and it's why Jon Snow was so bummed to find himself amongst these ranks, before his skyrocketed promotion to Lord Commander. Regardless of where you end up, all 3 orders are trained in arms, since the main objective of the Night's Watch is to defend. Directly under the Lord Commander are 3 senior officers, who head each order or department. The First Ranger, First Builder, and First Steward. sometimes referred to as Lord Steward. All three work at Castle Black since it's the headquarters. Remember good old Benjamin Stark? Well, he was first ranger before he disappeared, which either says a lot about his martial skills or how highborn favoritism works in the Night's Watch. At the very bottom of this hierarchy are the recruits, bottom feeders that most likely came to be a brother of the Night's Watch because they didn't have much of a choice. Unlike Jon, who didn't have a sense of purpose or belonging, most recruits are criminals, or accused criminals who are given the choice of taking the black instead of carrying out their punishment. All of these guys aren't the most pleasant, and we saw what could go wrong with having so many potentially dangerous men cooped up in high-stress situations during the mutiny at Craster's Keep. The realization that the Night's Watch isn't as respectable as he hoped left Jon feeling worse about his life. The men responsible for finding able fighting men are recruiters called Wandering Crows. They travel the Seven Kingdoms trying to convince anyone to join their noble cause, or convincing lords to empty their dungeons for them. The term crow has been pinned to all the brothers by the wildlings for their black cloaks. It's kinda used as an insult since they're perched up on their high wall, always watching them. But they've taken this name and made it theirs, because it works. The real question is, does the Night's Watch have a purpose after the conclusion of the story? Even though I actually enjoyed Jon's ending in Game of Thrones, what is there left to defend? I think I said it all here, so thanks for self-isolating with me guys, hopefully. I'll see you guys soon.